Here's your quick demo video on drawing communities to go with the public comment portal for the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission. The Michigan Constitution says, districts shall reflect the state's diverse population and communities of interest. So what are communities of interest, or COIs? The Constitution goes on to say communities of interest may include, but shall not be limited to, populations that share cultural or historical characteristics or economic interests. So what does that mean? Well, here are some examples. You could choose to map out the areas historically associated with the auto industry, say, or the music industry. You could designate a region where small family farmers need a voice in government, or where parents have shared concerns about school policy. You could identify an emerging high-tech zone, an immigrant port of entry community, or a neighborhood threatened by gentrification. Maybe there's a pair of counties that should be kept together because they have shared infrastructure needs, like new bus lines that would cross between them. It's up to you to tell a community story with a map. For many redistricting cycles, communities of interest have been named as a districting priority in quite a few states. But this time, there's a new mapping tool to let you try your hand at drawing them. It's called Districtor. Let's hop to the demo. In the public portal, in How to Map, you'll find buttons that give different options for mapping modules that open in Districtor. Now let's try to map a community of interest. Here's all of Michigan, but I can use the search bar to go straight to a particular place. Once I'm oriented, I can either paint an area of interest or mark important places. I'll start by marking the high school. Name your important place and don't forget to say why it's important. Then I'll zoom out and paint a community. To do that, I'll start with the paint tool and begin to draw. I'll use the plus sign to add a second community within the same map. Notice that unlike districts, COIs can overlap because real communities often do. I can name each one and be sure to describe why it's important. To see what it might look like when you're done, here's a real example that was made by residents of Lowell, Massachusetts, right before their city was redistricted, actually districted for the first time. You can see that the residents who made this map have identified important places around the city, as well as a number of neighborhoods and a description for each one of what common history, culture, and economic interests tie it together as a coherent neighborhood. Back to our Michigan map. When you're done, you can click Save. This lets you take the URL, copy it, so you can email or share on social media. Okay, so let's sum up with some drawing tips. Practice makes perfect. First, you can draw multiple communities on a single COI map, as we've seen. You can add landmarks or points of interest. Remember that it's fine to just speak from your personal perspective or to organize a group. Either way, the Commission wants to hear from you. Ultimately, it's important to explain what makes you a community and why you need a voice in government. All of this is complicated, so help sessions are available. Visit the portal at michiganmapping.org for more info on how to attend sessions to have someone help you learn to draw communities. Happy mapping!